Hello, and welcome to Leadership Trail Mix. I am Miguel Oliveira, your host, and for the next 5 to 10 minutes, we'll be together looking at one of the many ingredients that compose this art and science we call people leadership. So, when I moved from Rio to Colorado back in 2018, the first question people asked me was, are you going to ski or snowboard? After trying skiing and being bypassed by little 3-year-olds in the bunny hill, feeling like I was going to die, I realized it wasn't for me. Years later, I met Jim, my now husband, and a couple of months after we met, he took me to a family activity. Skiing? No. Snowboarding? No. Bowling? Mm-mm. No. Hunting. For a couple of days, a bunch of us woke up before 5 in the morning, prepared coffee, PB&J sandwiches, snacks, and jumped on a car looking for deer. It was such a bonding experience. I heard so many stories, shared so much laughter. They made me feel like I belonged. It was fun. I had such a great time that year. I felt so honored to share those moments with a group of men who take hunting seriously and finding it a way to have food in their freezers that I decided I wanted to be a hunter myself. I took a hunter safety class, got hunting gear as Christmas and birthday present from my in-laws, signed up for a license in 2023, and got it. Early in November, there I was, wearing orange and ready to go. The first day was intense. For 11 hours, we drove and walked all around a big piece of land looking for deer. 17,343 steps later, when we were driving out of the property, there was the deer. And I froze. I couldn't do it. Couldn't act fast enough. Couldn't handle the pressure. That evening, we drove home and I was silent and reflective. And by the time I got home, I found an answer inside of me. Hunting itself is not what made me want to become a hunter. Building relationships, creating memories with family and friends, enjoying the nature, having PB&J sandwiches, that's what really attracted me to it. And that conclusion made me think about purpose. And in thinking about purpose, I thought about the work of Simon Sinek on his books Start with Why and The Infinite Game. Starting with the latter and applying it to my hunting experience, Simon builds his theory on the premise that there are finite and infinite games. He characterizes finite games as those where you know the players, there is a clear endpoint, a clear winner, and fixed rules. On the other hand, in the infinite game, players come and go. There is not an endpoint. There is no winner and no fixed rules. While the main goal of the finite games is to win, in the infinite games, the goal is to keep playing. So, looking back at my story, I thought what I was looking for was the finite game outcome, the act of hunting itself, when in reality, what I was trying to accomplish was part of the infinite game, building relationships. Yes, the finite game could be a milestone to it, but at the end of the day, in my example, I would not feel accomplished by just hunting if it didn't serve a bigger why. It had to serve a purpose. I am a big believer in the power of purpose. I'm also a big believer in the power of gratitude and kindness, but let's leave this two for another time. In my career, I've used the Alice in Wonderland story many times to talk about goals, but here I will use it to talk about purpose. I'm talking about the moment when Alice asks the cat which way she should go and he answers with the question, "Where do you want to go?" And when she says something like "wherever," he says something to the effect of, "If you don't know where you're going, any path can take you there." I don't know why I find it so powerful. I just do. In looking at this dialogue through the lenses of purpose, it'll be very hard to find joy and fulfillment in what you do if you don't know your why. Yes, you can find these things outside of work, and I really hope you do. But quoting an old TV ad for mattresses back in Brazil that said you spend a third of your life on it, the other third you spend at work. Wouldn't it be great to connect your purpose in life to it? And that takes us to the inspirational aspect of having a purpose, having a why. As someone that loves analogies, I see having a why as having a bubble level tool. Something that you can refer to and that keeps you in check, either when a decision needs to be made or when you are reviewing your day. Did I bring my purpose to life today? Is this decision serving my purpose in life? Your why is who you are, the value you have in the world, something as unique as your fingerprint, the deep-rooted reason why you get off your bed every day. When I think about purpose, I can't help but think about impact and legacy. What things am I doing that will outlive me? How will I be remembered? If I went missing, what would people miss about me? As you might have already realized, all these questions involve other people. That's because, as social beings, our why is usually related to acts of service. Again, it's about the value you bring to the world. I remember bumping into someone when I first visited the US and had no idea I was going to move here. This person asked me some of the questions I just described to help me put my why into words. And that unlocked so much in all spheres of my life, mostly because being able to articulate my why in words allowed me to be more intentional and turn something that felt natural and gut-led into something I could plan for. And as I said earlier, help me recognize success and keep playing the infinite game of life. And you might be thinking, come on, Miguel, stop talking about your why and tell us what it is already. Fair enough. If you listen to my intro episode, it may sound repetitive to you, but here it is. My purpose in life is to help people find answers they are looking for, starting with the assumption that the answer is inside themselves. Another way to explain it is being more visual and thinking about a bridge that goes out and comes back to the same place. My why is to be that bridge that helps people turn their thoughts into answers. As I also said in my intro episode, I feel very fortunate to do work that connects with my purpose. What I didn't say then, and I'll say now, is that one thing that I love about having a why is that it allows me to inspire others. There is something magical about it, something hard to explain, but that allows me to lead more effectively and inspire action. The good news is that, and here I quote Simon, fulfillment is a right and not a privilege. Every single one of us is entitled to feel fulfilled by the work we do. We tend to think that joy and fulfillment will be at the top of the ladder, but it's actually in each step of it. Sometimes we are so focused on the top cap that we lose sight of the beauty of the journey to get up there. The $1 million question that I leave you with today is, are you fulfilled with the work you do? If you can't answer this question because you don't know your why, this is the first step. Why are you here? What legacy do you want to build? What impact do you want to have? Reflect on these questions. Ask people that you care about what they love about you and put pen to paper. Articulate your why in words and then move to the next step, which, if you already know your why, is the one action I have for you today. Is the work you are doing connected to your why? If not, what can you do to change it? And yes, I agree, there are a lot of things out of our control that can stand between us and our ability to bring our why to life through the work we do. Let's skip those, okay? What are the things that you can control and that can have you find the fulfillment you're entitled to in the work you do? As we get to the end of this episode, I want to invite you to keep the conversation going. Send an email to miguel@leadershiptrailmix.com sharing your thoughts on this reflection and on your journey to find your why. 2 weeks from the day this episode was posted, I will randomly select 2 people. One will get a link to the Start With Why audiobook, and the other one will get a link to the Infinite Game audiobook. 2 great books by the great Simon Sinek. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. That's all for today. Do you think someone can benefit from listening to this reflection? Please do share it. Thank you for listening. Take care and talk soon.